For all of you eager parents that want to get a jump start on the college financial aid process using the FAFSA that is provided by the federal government, did you know that you could get a jump start and get your own and your students' FSA ID as long as your child is over the age of 13? According to the federal government, and through the application process online, you can get your FSA ID in less than 5 or 6 minutes. Since I haven't had a federal ID for many, many years, I went ahead and found the application process relatively easy to complete. It took me about 5 or 6 minutes. The most difficult part of the process was building and answering the 4 challenge questions. It's fairly simple. You offer your email, your phone number, your address, your social security number, and your full name. It didn't take long at all, and there are lots of helpful tips to make sure that you're filling out all of the information correctly. One of the things that I will tell you is that you can get your FSA ID today to begin the FAFSA, which you really don't need to complete until your son or daughter is a senior in high school. But it will take 3 days for the federal government to run your social security number through the Social Security Administration to verify that you are who you say you are. But once you get your FSA ID and in the senior year in college and even after graduation, you can use your FSA ID for several purposes. First and foremost, the FSA ID is your signature, an electronic one, that you sign on your loan applications and on your financial aid forms that you are committed and are legally then binded to pay back any loans that you borrow, and that the information you provided on the FAFSA is accurate. You use the FSA ID later on to access your records, to correct your FAFSA, and to take a look at what loans you have borrowed and what your repayment looks like. A couple of things that I think are important that you don't hear about very often is that your FSA ID will remain the same, but your password will expire every 18 months. So if you're not in frequently, make sure you jot down those challenge questions and the answers. Now, families might not use their FSA ID all the time because you might not have a kid in college, or you might not be in college yourself, or there might be some time between the first and second child or the second and third. If that's the case, you might want to disable your FSA ID, but you can go back in any time with your password and reactivate it. A couple of other tips that are important. Every student that you have in your household will need their own FSA ID. And you as a parent will also need your own FSA ID. Now, when you apply for this FSA ID, each applicant will need their own email address. So if you're getting a jump start on this process and you're using an email address for your 13, 14, or 15-year-old, then you'll need to make sure you keep that email address active through the financial aid process. I think that means I should be doing a video on not changing email addresses and making sure that you use good email addresses that are responsible in nature. We'll talk about that later. Anyways, the instructions in completing and collecting your FSA ID are very simple. You do not need to wait until the senior year, and it is never a bad idea when you're completing the application to register your cell phone number so that you can get the verification codes both through email and through the phone. Again, FSA ID you can apply for yourself as a student or parent and your child as long as they are over the age of 13, so that you can begin to navigate the college financial aid application and loan process. Again, this is not necessary until the senior year in high school, but if you want to get a jump start, I encourage you to do so. My name is Catherine Graham, founder of the Financial Aid Shop. Looking forward to serving my community and working with you to search and select a college based on financial fit. Remember, no matter where your son or daughter goes to college, they're going to be great.